Okay, here we go. The Planet Mikey Show.
He's about to get crazy and wild. Stay for a while. Don't touch your radio
The Planet
dial.
Mikey Show.
Kicking it back, sports talk. Listen to that and stay tuned for some giggles and laughs. Go.
It's Vinny from Shawshank Firearms. Hey, let me ask you a question. Did you just get hit with like an ungodly amount of water? Did you just watch your shed float down the street? Does your backyard look like the Atlantic Ocean? Well, if it does, you should come down to Shawshank Firearms and buy yourself a gun, because that will make you feel better. See you soon.
Welcome to the Planet Mikey Show.
And the best thing about being a sponsor of the Planet Mikey Show is you're a sponsor for life.
Forever, yep.
You know, we don't forget about you just because this week you didn't spend, what does it cost? I bet an ad on $15? Just because you didn't spend. We still remember you.
That's
we
right.
refer to you. We respect you. And we will continually hound you for more money.
That's right. Shawshank Firearms, 12 Hadley Street, Billerica, Mass. 978-667-3060.
Yeah, it should get you a box of ammo.
There you go.
You know. No, that's a great guy there, and we love Vinny. And by the way, we also love all of our other sponsors, like Richie and the Giacomo's and Melrose and the Public Kitchens restaurants.
It's the sauce.
We love Richie, old friend of ours. How about Bob Cates comes on the show, gives everybody a discount on the My Grandma's Coffee Cake, just like that. Boom.
He was great.
Just like it was like an executive order from the president, except it made more sense. And we have now that Mikey 5. You call up with you call up or you put the promo code on the website and you get $5 off. Bang, just like that, off the world's greatest
coffee
cake. That's mygrandma.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Dr. Robert Leonard.
1-800-8-MY-GRANDMA.
Oh, well, that's
or
the other
8
one.
grandma.
Yes.
Sorry.
And it sticks. The messages stick.
It does.
Dr. Robert Leonard, of course, Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, and he's kind of given most of the business to Dr. Matthew Lepresti, who's like a genius with permanent hair restoration.
Yeah.
All these are advertisers that we respect, but most of all, Pro Automotive and Webster and Dudley. I got to tell you, those guys are great.
Yeah.
My cars are running tippity top, as the Beatles would say. Running the top of most of the Papamosto. Right.
Can they fix my horn?
Can
they fix your horn?
Yeah, the horn.
I told you what
Yeah.
to do.
I turn to the left, it beeps. I turn to the right, it beeps. Center when I need it? No.
You need the brand new Mark Bell horn for your car. When you turn to the left, it dings like a bell, and when you turn to the right, it honks like a horn. So you know which way you're going. Well, it's the Mark Bell horn. It's a bell and a horn rolled into one. Now, Ben, you went to
Yes,
Pro
sir.
Automotive, and did they take good care of you?
They took great care of me. I needed a catalytic converter.
Ooh, whoa.
Brutal.
Yep.
So an expensive thing. I go to the place I normally go to around me. They said,
Don't mention any names.
no, I'm not going to mention any names. But, another reason why you don't go to a dealership. But it's the only place around me. And they quoted me $3,800.
Yep.
Wow,
Right.
that's big money.
Parts and
That is
labor.
big money.
Ooh.
And so I was like, you know what? That sounds a little pricey for a car that's 2014 Ford Explorer. So
Yeah.
I said, let's call our friends at Pro Automotive. And I spoke to Morgan.
And you drove in because
it was
it's
an
not-
hour away from my
it's
house.
not close, but it was worth the drive.
It was absolutely worth the drive because parts and labor from them came to, I think it was just $2,400.
Oh, man.
You
Just
saved-
under $2,400.
So you saved 50.
So I saved about $1,500.
That's worth a tank of gas, and no matter where you're
That's
going.
right.
Pro Automotive, Webster and Dudley, Massachusetts. Let me
But that
give you-
wasn't because, the show.
no,
That was just because they're a much better shop.
So you
They
didn't
didn't
go in
even
there-
know.
You didn't
because
say,
they're not ripoffs.
Do you
They're-
know who I am?
No, because they wouldn't know who I am.
Oh.
Because I don't know who I am.
Well, even after you tell them, they don't know who you are. They forget your name
But
instantaneously.
Morgan, Amber, they were absolutely fantastic. Got my car done in 2 days. Gave me a loaner so I could make sure I got to work and everything like that. It was
That's
awesome.
great.
True
Well, they're,
story.
they were
Look
great.
at
they're
that.
professionals, and they care about the customer because they come back and visit whenever you have an issue. That's how you do business.
That's right.
ProAutomotiveMA.com is they are really good. Did we cover all those sponsors? Are there any sponsors that we don't have that we didn't mention?
Can't think of any.
Oh, I
you
went to
can-
Ned's Rubbers warehouse where you get your rubbers on sale.
Really?
Yeah, they got all kinds of rubbers. Big ones, small ones, pink ones, green ones. It's Ned's Rubber Outlet. I forgot the address. You'll find it. And then what happens is with rubbers, you just got to make sure you don't go to the pre-owned department.
Oh, man.
Stay out of there. Ned will get you right the hell out of
Wasn't it Johnny Most that did a spot once? He talked about some sporting goods place, and he's where our shirts are always half off.
there. Johnny, poor Johnny. Life's a good.
Because he'd be like 109.
Speaking of which, so I got to tell you that I've been in this baseball mode of respecting my elders, the guys who, don't play anymore. Maybe you forgot about them, but if you mention their name, I remember that guy.
The legends,
because a lot of them are not with us anymore. But I gotta go. Just delve into this for a second and bear with me because there's some fun, cool, crazy, kooky stuff in here. I start with the birthday today. What's the 8th?
Today's the 8th.
Yep.
8-8.
Now, Veda Pinson. No, you go what?
Pitcher.
Nope.
Hitter.
Fleet-footed, 170-pound, 5'11" outfielder who got it done in the field and hit the ball very, very well.
Fleet-footed.
Veda Pinson, born in 1938, played for the Reds mostly.
August 11th. That's his birthday.
Well, that says August 11th, but mine says August 8th.
Huh. Did you write yours?
Veda probably lied.
All right, you know what? Fuck Veda Pinson. Hey, fucking guy's dead anyway. Who gives a shit?
Oh, man.
No, what were you going to say now?
No. That's it. You screw up on your birthday, I don't want any part of you.
There it is. It's
Let's
back.
move on to another guy, August 8th. Hopefully would you check my accuracy?
I'm going to check this one, too. I hope they're all August 11th.
Frank Howard. What do you know about Frank Howard?
Frank, he had a brother.
Power hitter.
Elston.
Big power.
For the time of the White Sox.
He goes power hitter for the...
I was trying to think.
Yeah, there he is right
Senators?
there. Senators and the Dodgers. When was the Dodgers? He got traded to the Senators and became their first megastar. But here's the beautiful thing. He was 6'7", and he was a gigantic man, a mountain of a man. In fact, his nicknames were Hondo. That was
Hondo, yeah.
the Washington Monument. So big.
That's a good one.
And he played for the Senators. And the Capital Punisher.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Yeah. And well, the thing about him is he was he by the way, he's still alive. He's born 1936, so he's like 87 today. I think today.
Yep.
And I met him, talked to him at Fenway. Big, giant guy, great, very talkative. In fact, he wouldn't shut up. But I'm not going to say anything. The guy's 6'7", he'd crush you.
Yeah.
Crush you. He had these giant bats, 40-ounce bats, and when he'd be warming up, ready to swing, taking it around like a wiffle bat. It was like he was like holding a wiffle bat. It was looked so light in his hands. The guy hit the ball a mile. The biggest year he had was the year of the pitcher. He had 48 home runs and finished second to Harmon Killebrew. He was a huge guy and just an interesting cat. He's 87 today.
87.
Yeah.
Good
Finished
going.
I bet
Fourth.
she's not 6'7" anymore. Probably 6'6" now. Probably shriveled down to 6'5".
Rookie of the year in
1960.
1960.
Yeah. And the Dodgers traded him. He had a bad year for the Dodgers, and he became the biggest slugger in the history of Washington. Okay, now.
Played for Ted Williams as manager.
Yes, he did.
How about that?
Good, Ben. Give Ben a dingle. Hold on.
Ding,
Yeah!
we have a ding.
It's a dingleberry point.
Oh.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, what do you know about on August 9th? And they're going to do the whole week because we meet once a week. That's more than enough for all of us. On August 9th, which is tomorrow, Julian Javier,
Julian.
also born in 1936, along with Frank Howard. What was he famous for, Julian Javier?
Yeah, he stole a lot of bases.
No, well, I don't know. He was a great defensive second baseman, but
He could run fastest from home plate to first base.
Julian Javier, and the kids, American kids who didn't speak Spanish, we called him Julian Javier because they didn't know that the J is an H sound in Spanish language.
See.
Julian Javier, whose son Stan Javier played in the major league, he broke up the no-hitter that Jim Lonborg was throwing in the World Series with a double. Julian Javier was a one-hitter. Lonborg pitched a one-hitter in the World Series, and the only hit was a double by Julian Javier. How's that?
What a jerk.
See? But I remember this shit. I saw Julian Javier in 64 World Series when I was 10 years old. And then, of course, in the 67 World Series against the Boston Red Sox. A good player, but one of the few bespectacled players in the major leagues.
Wow.
There weren't that many.
Mhm.
Rich Rollins,
Frank Howard.
right. And this isn't even the theme of my thing here, but they both happen to be spectacled. Was it Bruce?
Is Chris Sabo up next?
What's his nickname? Oh, uh, the band.
Buds?
No, they named him after the Devo.
Oh.
They called him Devo because of glasses. Anyway, see, this is what makes baseball. People think about other things aside from how many yards did you get on the ground carrying in the game or how many catches. No, talk about the personal. You get to know the player. That's why I hate when these free agency has changed it because it changed teams all the time. You can't root for a guy or associate him with it. Al Kaline was always a Detroit Tiger. But Dave Winfield played for the Padres, and he played for the Cleveland Indians, and the New York Yankees,
and the Blue Jays,
and
and
Twins.
the Twins.
It ruins it.
Yeah.
All right. Also born on August 9th, Soup Campbell.
Soup Campbell.
Bill Campbell, they called him Soup for obvious
Well,
reasons. Yeah, he had soup dripping out of his ass.
That's uncomfortable.
What was Soup's claim to fame?
Well, he this year, in January of this year, at the age of he's born in 1948, so
What?
He
I'm
must
looking
be
at him
sm-
right now. It's a different guy.
no, that's an old guy, Soup Campbell. Anybody that had the name Campbell, they would just call them Soup, and boy, it was good, wasn't it?
So which one was it?
Bill Campbell, the relief pitcher for the Red Sox. There he is. He was one of the first big free agent contracts the Red Sox gave out. They gave him a big free agent contract in 77. He was okay. In 78, he was like fireman of the year. And then his arm went shitty on him, and he couldn't throw anymore. And they were paying him all that big money back then. It was like, $1 million a year, $1.5 million a year.
Wow.
He was awesome the year he got here, and then it fell off.
Yeah.
The year he got here was good.
So
yeah,
anyway.
he died on January 6th.
This year.
Hmm.
Yeah. Was he part of the demonstration at the camp? All right, so God rest his soul. It's Soup Campbell, reliever. Bill Lee knew him well because they pitched together. Also born on August 9th, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ralph Houck. Ralph Houck was manager of the Red Sox. He was also manager of the Yankees. He was also general manager of the Yankees. He was also a shitty third-string backup catcher for the Yankees. Baseball career was based around front office stuff, and the Red Sox and the Yankees, I think they called him the major something. He was like an ranked Army guy. Ralph Houck was born in 1919, died in 2010 at the age of 90. And Ralph Houck wore... okay, this is good. Rocky Colavito. Now, he's Italian. I think you can tell when his name was Rocco Colavito.
I think I used that olive oil.
That he was an Italian guy. Handsome man, dimple chin, big power. One of the few people in Major League history to have 4 home runs in one game. I think Willie Mays did it. Gehrig did it. Not many. Rocky Colavito, born in 1933, still alive. His 90th birthday is, what's the 10th? When's the 10th? Coming up this week.
Thursday.
But the great story about him, and by the way, Rocky Colavito, as handsome a devil as he was, a Major League Baseball player, married to the same lady since 1950. 69 years he's been married, and he's 90 now.
Now, speaking of the same person, when he hit those 4 home runs in a single game, was
Yeah.
it from the same pitcher?
I doubt it.
Probably not. They probably got that guy out of there
After the third one, he's like,
right.
I don't think you should
Rocky's
pitch
coming up.
today."
I think we're going to pull you. So here's the Louis Tion story. Rocky and Louis played together, right? So Louis always the prankster, the locker room. So one day, Rocky Colavito had a big, I don't know if it was a 4 home run game, but he had a big game, and the media was crowded around him, all the writers with their pads and they're writing, and they're all crowded around Rocky, and behind him, all of a sudden, they're asking Rocky about the game. Louis had put his schlong in a hot dog roll and put mustard on it.
For real?
Yeah, he put mustard on it in a hot dog roll and put it on Rocky's shoulder while he was being interviewed by the press. So here's Louis, and he goes, hey, Rocky, you want a hot dog, man? And he didn't even look at Louis. He goes, no, Louis. He just kept looking. He's being interviewed. Come on, man, it's good for you. Hey, it's a hot dog. You want this hot dog? He goes, no, I don't want it. He wouldn't even look. The press is dying because
Were they taking pictures?
Oh, well, no, they didn't know. But,
Oh, man.
I mean, that's so funny, isn't it?
Oh, God.
It's the most famous Rocky Colavito. But Louis was like that, I told him what he did with Raditz down at the fantasy camp. Louis would sit on the pile of towels.
Oh,
So the campers would come out. He'd take the one from right under his ass and he'd give it to the next camper when they come out of the shower. Shoot next, and he was sitting nude on the towel pile. And so Raditz goes by, and Keon used to smoke cigars in the shower. And he smoked them all the time. I'd say, Louis, you got to have moves, So then Raditz goes walking by. He goes, "Hey, Keon, why don't you put out that fucking turd you're smoking?" And Keon goes, "Hey, Monstro, fuck you, man. It's better than your breath. Because at your house, you don't need Black Flag. You just go, all the fucking bugs die."
Oh, man.
So all the cameras are dying because he's hitting on Raditz. Anyway, Louis was great, and he did that with Rockefeller. It's a true story. Speaking of Raditz, another guy that had a story about Raditz, Bill Mamboquette, was a Red Sox pitcher.
Mambo.
Oh, it's too bad you can't find that song, Ben, in the 14 seconds you plotted here, called Mambo Time, M-O-N-B-O, time. Different word. No, it's a separate word. Song. There it is. Okay. Oh, no, that's not it. Mambo Time by the... it's a Boston-based band. I don't think... Bill Mamboquette was born in Medford, Massachusetts. Drafted by the Red Sox at age 18. And he was a good player for the Red Sox. He won 20 games for the Red Sox once.
Oh.
But Mambo passed away a few years ago in 2015 of cancer, and I had seen him at a few golf tournaments, and he told me this story. I asked him, I said, "Mambo, what was the longest home run you ever gave?" Mambo goes, "Oh, there's no question. It was Frank Robinson." And he goes, "It was in Cleveland." He says the dugouts, the bullpens rather, were way out and left in center field, way far away from the playing field. And the ball went way past the bullpen and into the parking lot behind the bullpen, way far away from home plate. And so he crushed it. And Mambo left the game. He went. They took him out, and he sat on the bench in the dugout. And the bullpen phone rang. It was Raditz in the bullpen. He says, "Hey, Mambo, how did you hold that one?"
Hey, is this the song?
Just a pitcher joke, It's purely pitcher. Fenway song. Somebody wrote that about going to Fenway as a kid, and Mambo was the pitcher.
Yep.
Bill Mambo.
The band was Barry and the Remains. They played with the Beatles.
They're local guys.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about Mambo Time, but God rest his soul. He was a funny guy, profane and competitive and pissy, and he was a great guy to talk to. He had real good stuff. Okay. Also having a birthday on the 13th of August, Tony Cloninger. Now, why is he famous? I'll tell you right now. Tony Cloninger was a pitcher, but he fancied himself as a hitter as well. And in one game against San Francisco, Tony Cloninger, the starting pitcher, helped his team's cause with 2 grand slams and 9 runs batted in.
Wow.
He drove in 9. Now, both of those are still Atlanta Braves records. Single game bests. 2 grand slams in a game. No pitcher in the history of baseball has ever done that except Tony Cloninger.
Did they give him a bonus or something?
They gave him a boner.
Yeah.
He died in 2018 at the age of 78, but you can bet somebody at his funeral mentioned the 2 grand slams. Everybody in baseball knows that name only because Tony Cloninger is the only guy that ever did.
Can we talk about the stupidity of baseball for a second? Because we talked about it on my show, and you alluded to it. That's why I was thinking about it. Talking about a pitcher who hit 2 grand slams, and we're fawning over Shohei Ohtani, which is amazing what he's doing. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, no, he's great.
But forever baseball, these guys could hit. These pitchers could hit.
Great athletes. Many of them were great basketball players.
Well, so my dad was listening to the segment we were talking about on the air because I was just kind of ragging on baseball for being in the Stone Ages forever.
Yeah.
And my dad started saying, look up Earl Wilson. Could have been a 30 home run hitter.
Tremendous.
No problem.
Dookie, they called
He
him.
had like 15 home runs as a pitcher.
Well, he had 7 per year, almost every single year. I mean, he was unbelievable, and because he swung so hard, and he was a really talented power hitter. Last time I saw him was with Raditz in '99 when the All-Star game came in. I said, "That's Earl Wilson." He goes, "No." Raditz goes, "No, it is." I played with the guy. That is Dookie. They called him Dookie.
Dookie?
Yeah, or Earl. You know,
He had 35 career home runs.
Yeah.
In
John Drysdale could hit really, really well. Sam McDowell. There got a lot of guys who could just swing the bat, and you know, those were the guys that were star baseball player on the team. They just turned out to be a better pitcher than.
yeah, and then
Babe
baseball
Ruth.
was stupid and wasted it and was like, oh, no, you're a pitcher. You don't really hit.
Babe
It's
Ruth,
a
man.
waste.
Think of the money he could have made in this day and age being a pitcher, an Ohtani type
He'd
of
be
guy.
Shohei Ohtani.
Except he would not be Japanese.
You know, they treat those guys like
You wouldn't?
No.
drummers in a band.
Babe Ruth would
Sure.
not turn Japanese papers. You have that song? Turning Japanese?
I'll find it somewhere.
I really think so.
No, what you know that song? That's one of the
Yes.
weirdest songs ever because, first of all, I don't know that there's really a way to turn Japanese. You know, officially. I mean, I know nowadays you say, "Well, I'm a man, I could become a woman. I'm a woman, I could become a man." But listen to this. This is weird.
Strange song.
I mean, what if you're like Polish and all of a sudden you're going to turn? Now you're turning Japanese. I think it had something to do with masturbating.
That was always the rumor.
Yeah. This is a great song. I see your picture. I see.
I got your picture.
I think your picture.
Me and you. You wrote I love you.
Good tune, though.
I wrote me too. I see her staring at this
My favorite part right here.
Oh, it's in color. Your hair is brown.
But he says,
Eyes are hazel.
"I'm turning Japanese."
And soft as
I
cloud.
really think so.
I often kiss you when there's no one else around.
Look at these punks.
I got your picture. I got your picture. I'd like a million of you over myself.
Kind of racist, I think.
No.
Take a picture.
They're just kidding around.
From inside as well. You got me turning Japanese. Turning, then I'm turning, then I'm turning, then I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
I really think so.
Turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
I really think so. Which
That's
is makes
awful.
it no, but that's great because they give it credibility when they say, "No, I really think so."
A great piece of production.
I mean, if they're just saying, "I think I'm turning Japanese," yeah, that what? Oh, I really think so. Now it's like,
Oh,
no, you didn't
alright.
believe him. Everything they. Also, a couple more finish wrapping up the baseball birthdays. The late Mark the Bird Fidrich, who's my age roughly, would have been 69 this coming Monday, I believe it is.
He was
and
so fun to watch, that
what
guy.
a great guy! So fun to be around. I mean, the times I spent with him, we just fun. It was a nice. And then I saw him last time. I saw him. He was driving a truck over in Northborough, a big farm truck thing, and that's how he died, fixing his
I was
own
gonna
truck.
say, you saw him that day?
No, it wasn't the same day, but he drove that truck every day when he retired. It's like a wonderful guy. I miss him.
Why'd they call him the Bird?
Because he looked like Big Bird.
Yeah.
Back then, Big Bird was just newly popular, and Marky Birdfish was a big, tall, gangly. You know, he looked uncoordinated until he threw the ball, and you just couldn't hit it. He was so great. He made the Tigers. They had empty houses, and all of a sudden, whenever the Bird Fiddlers would pitch, they had a full house, 47,000 people. Loved him. Great guy from Northborough, Mass. Now here's the final birthday. Ready? Earl Weaver. If you don't know anything about Earl Weaver, you weren't watching baseball in 69, 70, 75. Right through 83, I think he was manager, wasn't he?
Then he came back again for a short stint in like 80.
Smoked like 2 packs a day. He was a drinker. His voice was raspy, but here's the funny
Always looked 75.
Oh, yeah. He like Sparky Anderson. You know,
Yeah.
life treated him in a harsh way. Earl Weaver was born in 1930. So he's 90. I mean, he's dead. But he, what year is it? He would be 93. He would be 93. He's dead. But when he was alive, even though I hated the Orioles because they were competition, he was so great and funny to watch. I'd like to play a little audio for you of him arguing with the umpire Bill Haller because he argued with the umpire, and he was 5'2". You know, I mean, Earl Weaver was a little dinky guy, Here's some audio from him talking to umpire Bill.
Behind the rubber.
Oh, bullshit! Bullshit yourself! You're here, and this crew is here just to fuck us! Yeah! Boom!
Throw him out.
That's great! And you suck!
You shit.
Couldn't wait to get me out!
Earl, you won your... You hit me?
Yeah, because you
Good.
put your
I'm glad you
finger
did.
on me!
I'm glad you hit me.
That's right! You're here for one goddamn specific reason!
What's that, Earl?
To fuck us!
Ah, you're full of shit. Fuck you.
The umpire says, "Fuck you."
And don't you ever put your finger on me again!
You hit me, Earl.
man.
Typical Earl Weaver stuff there, but beautiful, because those guys go yell at each other. Sometimes the yelling went on for like 5 minutes.
When baseball was baseball.
You're here just to fuck us. So anyway, Earl Weaver also had a little thing that he did on a nightly basis after the games. His manager's corner, maybe it was weekly, manager's corner with Earl Weaver. And there was a classic. One day they just said he decided he was going to say whatever he wanted to. They had an outtake version. They obviously did it recorded, but here is that. So this is great.
Earl Weaver. Hi, everybody. This is Earl Weaver. Of Tom Moore podcast. I understand Tom's been getting some mail with questions supposedly I can answer. What the fuck are some questions?
First of all, George Moore from Baltimore, boss of Don Stanton.
Well, Don Stanhouse was an asshole. He had us in trouble, had to fucking bait. Goddamn fucking like the room, all smoke. And thank God we got Jimmy Stoddard coming in on the bullpen right now. That's what it takes.
Well, Bill Whitehouse, Earl, that's certainly from Frederick, Maryland, wants to know why you and the Orioles don't.
Speed, for Christ's sake. You get fucking goddamn picked off, trying thrown out, taking runs away. Some big cocksucker fucking ball out the ballpark and you can't make a goddamn mistake.
Well, certainly this show is going to get out in history, Earl. Terry Elliott of Washington, D.C. wants to know why you don't use Crowley.
Well, Terry Crowley's lucky he's in fucking base, for Christ's sake. He's by the Cincinnati Reds. He's by the fucking goddamn Rays. We saw that Terry Crowley could sit on his fucking ass for 8 hours watching another fan. Has the ability to get up there and break one open in the fucking ninth. So this cocksucker mind his own business. I mean, man, his fucking team would be a lot better off.
Well, certainly you've made your opinions known on the fans' questions about baseball, Earl, but let's get to something else. Alice Sweet Norfolk wants to know.
Alice Sweet ought to be worried about where the fuck her next lay's coming from, rather than where her next goddamn tomato plant's coming from. Get her ass out of the fucking bars at night. Go hustling around the goddamn get a fuck in her. I don't understand where coming from, Tom. That's about it. Go fuck yourself and fuck with your show coming up next on Baltimore Baseball fucking Network.
Oh, man.
That's classic.
It would have been great if the interviewer or the guy asking the questions had no idea this was going to happen.
So you heard what was going on with the Orioles right now, right?
Yeah.
With their
Their
broadcaster?
broadcaster said something that was perfectly normal, part of the game notes put out by the Orioles. Said something that seemed derogatory about how they can never beat the Tampa Bay Rays
They
down in
made
Tampa
graphics for it.
Bay. They had graphics. Is all ready to go as it's part of the official record. And he said it on the air. They fired the guy for being negative about the team. Suspended him, right?
No, wait, was it the way he said it?
He said it. He's a good
was
broadcaster.
fine.
He did
It was
normal.
fine.
It was unbelievable. The Orioles they got pissed about it.
It's not like he went on like Earl Weaver and be like, these fucking cocksuckers can't win a game against this team.
How about Earl Weaver, though? You imagine that guy being your manager. What a funny bastard he is. Anyway.
What the fuck was that, Adams?
Well, he was. He had Jason Wolf. He was never like that, but he was the same size, roughly. But, this guy was just notorious, and the umpires hated him, but they also thought he was pretty amusing. Yeah.
Probably respected him, though,
You know what I have now for you gentlemen out
You
there?
come here once a week. You know why? To fuck us.
So fuck us. I have some news items.
News?
Yeah, oh yeah. Are you kidding me? I'm a full-service podcaster.
Now the news with Mike Adams.
By the way, one of our former sponsors here, again, sponsors for
Sponsors, yeah.
Resonate. That's where I get the blue dream.
Resinate.
Yeah, resonate.
Resonate.
Oh, you
blue
can
dream.
spell.
Well,
Blue
yeah.
dream.
I'm looking at the shirt.
And now the news. A Florida suspect was recently arrested for manslaughter after allegedly beating up a man on a golf course in June. Robert Moore, age 76, charged with 1 count of aggravated manslaughter.
Manslaughter.
On an elderly person. The victim, 87-year-old Dean Zook, died weeks after the confrontation due to the injuries that he incurred. What happened was they were at Glenview Country Club in the Villages, Florida's friendliest
Those are
hometown.
violent villages.
The victim accidentally hit a car. The 87-year-old guy accidentally hit a car that Moore, the attacker, believed was his, prompting a confrontation. The victim admitted to hitting the vehicle with his vehicle and asked to exchange insurance information. The unknown subject then struck the 87-year-old victim in the jaw with a closed fist, pushing him backwards. Zook attempted to protect himself. He's 87.
Yeah.
But he was unable to. Moore left after realizing that the car did not belong to him.
Oh,
Wasn't his car.
Idiot.
Killed the guy. Zook passed away July 16th, a day before his 88th birthday.
Oh, man, that's terrible. That's terrible.
And they had already bought cake.
Bad for both of them.
I'm sorry.
Is it my grandma's coffee cake?
Now, the guy who attacked
wasn't
him,
my grandpa's.
authorities were able to arrest Moore after they discovered an article about him scoring a hole-in-one in November of 22. He was wearing the same shorts, shoes, and sunglasses he was during the incident, and that's how they busted the murderer.
Jesus, criminals, buy new clothes.
Murdering bastard.
We say it once. We've said it 1,000 times on the show. If you're gonna commit a crime, throw your clothes away after.
You know, it's funny. I son of a bitch. You know, I said that to your dog, Buddy, when I walked in. I said,
You did?
Buddy, you son of a bitch. He goes, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is.
Well, he likes that.
Well, it's his mom.
It's a term of endearment for Buddy.
I told you my Jesus joke last week. Yep. Okay, good. I don't want to repeat. Did I tell you my Jesus joke last week?
No.
Good, because I don't want to repeat.
Oh, okay.
Have I ever told you guys I don't really don't want to repeat?
I don't think you ever told us that Jesus joke.
Really?
I think you did, but you should resurrect it.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I didn't tell it on the
Man.
air. I mean, on the podcast
I don't think so. I don't know. When was it?
about the prostitute being stoned to death in Jerusalem. Yeah, I told you.
I remember that now, yes.
The problem is, I say these things, you don't remember them.
Well, see, now this will
I
cause,
backed you.
if anybody wants to hear that joke, they can listen to the previous episode.
Oh, right.
Episode 236.
It's on there, and
yeah.
it's classic.
Yeah.
All right, this just in.
Hold on, this just in.
That's what she said last night.
The news with
This
Mikey.
just in. Pull it out.
Oh, God.
Got a prick stuck in her.
Steve McMichael, who was on the Big Show with me,
Mongo.
and Glenn Ordway, Mongo is not doing well.
Oh.
He also was on my TV show. I got to tell you, this guy was absolutely the craziest guy in the history of any broadcast I've ever. Anyways, give me the bad news first. He's hospitalized due to sepsis and pneumonia.
Ooh.
He had ALS. He's in intensive care now, and he's not doing real well. He may spend a week in the hospital. They're waiting on blood and sputum cultures.
Ooh, yeah.
Doesn't sound good.
What's sputum?
He's been battling ALS for the last couple of years. He revealed his diagnosis April 21, and he's now fully paralyzed and has lost his voice.
Oh, that's
Oh.
terrible. Gee.
Let him go.
He was recently announced that he was among 12 senior semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Spent 13 seasons with the Bears, 92.5 career sacks, second among franchise history, behind only Richard Dent. He's a good player.
And how old
Nose
is he now?
tackle.
How old is he?
He's not that old. Anyway, here's the thing. He came on, first of all, on the Big Show. He was being interviewed. It was me and Fred Smirlis, Lenny Clark, and Glenn were the panel, the show. And he comes in as a guest. First thing he does is he stops at the window in this is at Huntington Avenue. He stops at the window, looks in at us before he comes in, and he does this huge spit hawker on the window.
Sputum.
I mean, just all over, he spewed him all over the window. We're like, holy shit. He comes in, he does the interview with us. He's known as a crazy person. If he takes off his sunglasses, you look, his eyes are like semi-crossed, and it looks like he's going to kill somebody.
He was probably coked up.
He goes in, he does this whole interview, and he walks away. Glenn says to Lenny and me and Fred. He says, Fred, you know, you didn't say anything during that whole interview. Were you intimidated? Fred says, those nose tackles are fucking crazy, which is what he was. And then Lenny says, I learned a long time ago, never flick a rhino in the balls. You know, and it was like, that's exactly the feeling when the guy was near you. You didn't know. But he did on my TV show, live. Sat down right next to me, 2 feet away, start talking. Somebody said, people say you're crazy and all this. And he goes, crazy? You want to see crazy? He stands up. This is a desk, wooden. Takes his head and goes, bam, and slams it on the desk so loud it scared the shit out of me. I jumped back. I go, what the? That's the last thing I thought he was going to do, was hit his own head on the desk. He puts his sunglasses back on and goes, that's crazy.
Now, he's the kind of guy you'd want with you in a bar fight.
Yeah, but not after. No. You want to drop him off. Yeah. Because he. But anyway, he's in a bad way right now, and he was a crazy guy, and I witnessed a couple of those episodes, and that's a news item. You know, I got news item. I have no violence or politics.
It's true.
I made up my mind today. No politics. Because it puts me in a bad mood.
Thanks,
you know?
Mike. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to wait till next week.
You have more news for us?
I do. A community in South Florida has an adorable problem on its hands. This would be the kicker if we were doing the news at night.
That's right.
There's a guy in this room right here who's got a good heart, takes care of when he finds an injured animal like baby bunnies, he nurtures them, tries to nurse them back to health. And then you brought him to the hospital.
Yes, the Tufts.
You found baby bunnies in your yard, and you just couldn't do what most people do, is stick them in a baggie, throw them in a lake.
Nope.
What?
No,
Most people do that?
Not bunnies. I love bunnies.
The mother never came back to the nest, so I thought, you know, I will take them. I'll feed them. I got a little bottle. I did the whole thing. Yeah. Well, they wouldn't accept it. So I thought, oh, Christ, what do I do? Well,
so you breastfed them.
Tufts Veterinary School. Yeah, thought about that. Tufts Veterinary School in North Grafton. They are
the best.
They are the best.
Yeah, they care.
But they took them, and last I heard, they were doing quite well.
Well, that's good. I'm always happy to hear good news about bunnies. But here's bad news about something that happened down in Fort Lauderdale area. 2 years after a resident let loose lion head rabbits. Those are the ones with the real fluffy collars. Very rare, I guess. According to local lore, the number of rabbits now outnumbers the 81 homes in the neighborhood. The furry invasion has divided the neighborhood's residents. Some have allegedly threatened to shoot the animals or feed them to their snakes. Can you imagine that?
Snakes in Florida. There's the other problem.
I'm going to feed my snakes these nice little bunnies. What are you, an asshole?
Yeah.
Some want to let the bunnies roam free, which is what I would do. We have bunnies all over my neighborhood in Upton. And my wife goes for a walk. She sees 10 bunnies, and she loves bunnies. We have a bunny. Gunther lives in our family room.
All of the wild.
It's pronounced Gunther?
Gunther. He's a flop-eared. No, he's a pet.
But
they're
seen
all
him.
over the neighborhood.
He's beautiful.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah. Comes when you call him.
So anyway, they're saying, oh, this is a bad situation for the neighbors there. The rabbits have been grazing. They're saying the rabbits could be dead because they're treated with toxic pesticides, these lawns down there.
Yeah.
The rabbits are also at the mercy of the area's predators and cars. It's a neighborhood. So, and by the way, the people that are trying to take care of them, they require special care because they're different kinds of they need exotic veterinarians, not just regular vets who stick a thermometers up the rabbit's ass to see if they have a temperature, and then they go, he's all right.
Like they need a Cambodian veterinarian
no,
or something?
They need special treatment. So the Rabbit Rescue is the group that's trying to save them. They're preparing for high vet bills, maybe even surgery for some of these animals. And sometimes the only vets that can do the surgeries are 3 or 4 hours away. So this is a problem. They just let it go. They let nature take care of it. And naturally, though, since they're rabbits, they're multiplying like rabbits
very quickly.
Rabbits they screw around, and then they don't screw around having the babies. It's like a gestation period of like 3 weeks. You know, you get pregnant,
and then just go,
and then a month later you're going, okay, next. You know, it's unbelievable. So that's what rabbits are all about. And one more story about animals. You see the Chinese video about the zoo with the bears that look like
sun
humans?
bears. Yeah.
The Chinese zoo says, no, these are not humans in disguise.
They said it in English?
No, I'm translating.
Oh.
The suggestions that some of its bears at the zoo in Beijing might be people in costumes. They say that's, what do you say, bullshit?
I
in
saw the
Chinese.
video, man. It looked like a guy.
It did, because he got a hanging, like his jeans were hanging off the back, and it wasn't right.
And the mouth didn't move. It looked like one of those masks on the, the Planet of the Apes or something.
So the sun bears from Malaysia are smaller than other bears and look different from the real thing, but the Hangzhou Zoo said Monday, that some people, the posting said, I'm doing a bear's voice.
Go ahead.
Some people think I stand like a person. Well, that's Yogi Bear.
That was a moose.
You want to hear bullshit in Chinese?
Yeah.
废话，
Inqua?
废话，
Yeah, I'm next time some Chinese guy's on this show and he says something that's not true,
Hey,
I'm going to go,
废话，
Feinhua. And the guy's going to go, how did you...
You want to hear it in English?
bullshit.
Yeah.
So sun bears are the size of large dogs. Anyway, who gives a crap about this? I don't know why I even put this story in there, but the bottom line is it's not fake. These are not fake bears. No one's going to go out and hire people to dress up as fake bears when you real thing.
废话，
Correct.
And Feinhua FM. All right, so let's get out of here. Well, I got.
Fast food?
What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
It's hard to tell.
Chick-fil-A? Anybody?
I like Chick-fil-A.
I'm a Chick-fil-A guy.
I'm a Wendy's guy.
Wendy's?
Wendy's.
I find the
that's your
Chick-fil-A
burger over McDonald's or Burger King?
Yes.
I find the Chick-fil-A chicken to be a bit salty. You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like my chicks salty.
That's okay.
And especially if they got a sister named Pepper.
You know, did they deliver?
No, we're not going to do that.
Oh.
No. You know why? My son Andrew. Kentucky Fried Chicken. What's that? DoorDash?
Yeah.
No. Why? Because you shouldn't get Kentucky Chicken. It's bad.
Bingo, that's
No,
just-
but I mean, it's in a bucket. It's like $14.
Yeah.
$6. Now everything's gone so. The prices on fast food.
You know, but you know what sucks? I can't stop eating that stuff. If somebody brought a bucket of the chicken over, I'd be sitting. My brain was telling me, "Oh, don't eat that. That's not good for you. You'll clog your artery."
It's not even good fried chicken either,
Ugh.
but you just keep eating it.
Yeah.
Down the street, not down the street, but in Framingham, I don't know, 3 miles away from you.
In Little Rio de Janeiro?
KFC Taco Bell combo.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Ooh, it's dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm a huge Taco Bell fan. I can destroy. So
Popeye's chicken, killer. That stuff is great.
it is.
Yeah.
Mount Olive. Remember that story?
No.
Popeye's favorite hobby.
No.
All right. So now, never mind. Never mind all that. I was just going to ask you another question about a fast food restaurant, but forget about it.
Oh man.
Because we'll be here next week, right?
Right.
Yeah, we'll be here.
And right now, Joe and Jerry are here. And Joe and Jerry are going to do a little thing from George Thorogood, I understand. Ready? Ready?
I'm ready.
Good. That baby of mine wouldn't let me in, Joe. So move it on over! Yeah! Rock it on over! Joe. Move over, little dog. The mean old dog is moving in. All right. She told me not to mess around, but I done let the deal go down. Move it on over. At Shaw's. Rock it on over. Move over, nice doggy. A big fat dog is moving in. Changed the lock on my back door. Now my key won't fit that whore. Move it on over. I said rock it on over, Joe. Move over, nice doggy. The mean old dog is moving in. I'm playing the guitar on this part, Troop. Listen to these hot licks. You're shredding it, Joe. It's finger picking good. Even though I had Kentucky Fried Chicken for lunch, my fingers are greasy. I hear your fingers are always greasy, Joe. You should really become a proctologist and make life easier for everybody.
That's really kind of an asshole thing to say, Troop.
I get it. She threw me out just as pretty as she pleased. Pretty soon she'll be on her knees.
Move it on over. Come on, slide it on over.
Move over, little doggy. Big old hog is moving in. Now I'm playing a guitar.
You kind of suck, Troop. You're repetitive. Kind of unimaginative. Kind of lame. Kind of AAA.
All right, fuck off, Joe.
Fuck off.